Hello, FlexiFit family. I am, as promised, sharing with you the story of how I actually ended up overweight. I feel like this is the story that's typically untold. All around us, you see stories of weight loss, body transformations, backed by endless before and after comparisons, workout tips, inspirational messages, training and resource offerings, etc. You name it, it is out there. Less often, though, I feel like I come across the stories about how the weight actually came about and that kind of like personal backstory, which for me makes all the difference and I feel is equally important and should also be discussed. For me, I think it's an important reflection because there are so many other people out there in the world that are probably, no, absolutely going through these same life hardships, whether it be emotional, physical, financial, you name it. There are people going out there living through very similar experiences as I went through, and you might even be going through that yourself right now. And I think all of those things can lead to unhealthy habits and decisions that can impact your weight, your health, your wellness, and just your general well-being. And what I want to point out, it's something that I lost sight of during my struggles, is that although there are probably many times in life where we feel like things are completely just out of our control, and in reality there are sometimes things that are out of our control, even with that, there are a lot of things that are still within our control. For instance, our food choices, our frequency of food intake, our exercise or lack thereof, and even our attitudes. And those are the very things that we must maintain control over because they can severely alter our life even more than the things that we cannot control. So that's actually just what I want to talk about and share with you today. We just have to keep control of those things, and you have more control over those things than you probably think that you do. I said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it every day. Everything in our lives comes and goes. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your kids, your family, your house, your job, cars, clothes, money, any sort of worldly possession, you name it. Everything comes and goes. But your body, your being, you are the only thing that stays with you your entire life. And you have to do everything you can to take the very best care of it. So that is why I'm sharing this with you in hopes that if you need to do better for yourself, that you will listen to this, you will hear this, and you will do better for you. So that being said, for me, being heavy or overweight, full-figured, however you want to describe it. For some people, it might have always been a way of life. For others, it's something that sort of just happened. Maybe it had a distinct cause. Maybe it just gradually came about. Regardless, though, I think it's important again to talk about that aspect of the weight loss journey, how it happened, where it got started, what were the signs, what were the causes, what were the actions that we're taking that led to it, and not just the after or the now, the ooh, look at me, wow, now because I'm better. How did I get here? So I'm going to tell you how I got to where I was that led me to where I am now. So here we go, the tale of what I call two me's. I wasn't always overweight. In fact, in my high school days, my body, I probably defined it as like dope as fuck. Although I was like statuesque, padded in all the right places compared to my peers, I was relatively fit during my teenage years and even as a young adult in my college days. In college, I probably gained the freshman 10 to 15, but it just really made me fit, thick, and probably even more, slightly, a lot, possible, more popular with the guys. I don't know. I was active in college. I would go jogging when I could. I played soccer. I taught gymnastics. Anything I could do around studying and working that would just keep me active. So college, great, good. Then I graduated, moved to Dallas, and my body started going downhill in 2008 as a result of my first foot break. If you haven't heard the story, it basically goes something like this. I was in my living room in the middle of the afternoon trying to just do an at-home workout, and I was doing countdowns, and basically it's running in place, high knees. I think it's something that football players do, or who knows. Anyways, came down hard the wrong way, snap. There goes my foot. Now, what makes the story funny and just hilarious looking back, definitely not at the time, was that I was home alone, I was downstairs, and ironically, I didn't have a phone. We had internet that had just been set up, but no phone line yet. So I had to crawl up the stairs, which probably took me about an hour, and get on my computer, get on Yahoo Messenger. I don't even know if that still exists, but back then that's where it was at. And I had to message just any one of my friends that was online, and it happened to be a guy, totally platonic, but still yet a guy. And I was engaged at the time, and I had to say, hey, I just had an accident. I think I'm dying. Can you call my fiance at work and tell him that I need him to come home ASAP? Send help. So my friend did that, but that panic led to an at-work incident where my fiance at the time ended up being caught up and held trying to clean up that mess and didn't get home until hours later. So I spent about 6 hours just laying on the floor in a puddle of sweat and tears until he finally got home and was able to rush me to the ER. So that kind of led into just an ongoing saga of foot breaks. I literally spent the next 3 years breaking feet. I broke my right foot once. That was the first foot break. And then I broke my left foot 3 times. So in 2009, I broke my left foot for the first time running up the steps to my new condo. In my defense, the doctor said that my foot was probably already fractured at the time, and then running was just checkmate. Then in 2010, I was in pole class and went to do a twisted grip kick up, rolled my ankle, and the pressure on the 4th and 5th metatarsal just popped it. And yes, back in a cast. And then in 2011, I was playing soccer, and one of my teammates kicked me in the foot during warm-up, and snap, another break. So 4 years, 4 consecutive foot breaks, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. And yeah, you can imagine that was not fun. Might be a good time to add in that I do have a calcium and vitamin D deficiency, so that didn't help the situation. And also I supinate when I walk, so that means I tilt out on like the outside of my feet, the 4th and 5th metatarsals. So those things very much contributed to the ongoing foot breaks, but not fun at all, as you can imagine. So in 2012, my doctor was like, hey, look, enough is enough. We need to do something about this foot breaks. We're going to put a screw in your foot. So in 2012, I gave in and had surgery, and they inserted a titanium screw into my foot to prevent further breaks, which is currently still there to the day. I was like, hey, keep it in. Why take it out? It's an unnecessary surgery. So yes, I still have the screw in my foot, which right now it is cold outside. This bipolar Texas weather is killing me and it hurts. So 4 foot breaks later, I was left severely out of shape, only to follow that up with a broken rib. That is another story for another time. Funny thing though, it has a video to accompany it of how it happened, so I might show that to you one day. Anyways, I must say though, without these setbacks, I probably wouldn't be where I am today and who I am today, nor would I have the love and respect for fitness and flexibility that I have now, which also gave birth to #FlexiFit. So having to kind of recreate myself created who I am today and what I want to share with you and what I want to share with the world. At the time, I absolutely blamed my foot breaks for the reason that I gained so much weight. Looking back now, you know, they say hindsight is 2020, you know. For me, I really feel like it wasn't just the foot breaks, it was a culmination of things. And by things, I mostly mean bad choices made by me. I can't really blame anybody but myself. Yeah, my broken feet prevented me from being able to work out the way that I would have liked to and probably the way that I needed to. However, they alone were not the cause of my weight gain. It was me. The actual causes of my weight gain were my choices. Those choices were poor food choices. I kid you not, I engorged myself in all sorts of comfort foods. partly because it was the only thing that could really make me happy at the time, and I felt like I still could control. On top of that, I had a fiance that did not cook. He did not know how to cook. The best he could do is pick something up from McDonald's on the way home, and that's literally what we ate all day, every day, for every meal. And then on top of that, he gave me cookies and cupcakes and wine, all the comfort foods, probably thinking that he was helping me feel better, but really just helping me dig my own grave. On top of that, alcohol, wallowing away in agony using alcohol as an escape. I was into wine. I'm still into wine. Yay. In moderation now. Wine of choice at the time was Verde. Yum. Now I'm into reds. Dry. Lack of exercise. Again, I wasn't able to work out the way that I wanted to and I needed to. Not realizing at the time that there were things that I probably still could have done to work out if I had just tried, if I had researched, or even just reached out to a fitness professional. But I just felt like I couldn't do anything, so I did nothing. On top of that, there's depression. At the time, I probably would have said that I wasn't depressed. Looking back now, I realized that I was severely depressed. And as we know, depression comes along with a whole set of side effects of its own. So 4 years of foot breaks, depression, poor decisions, food, and exercise, it all caught up to me in the worst way. At 24, I was pushing 260 and had become a neck up kind of girl. What's a neck up kind of girl? You know what I'm talking about. The girl that takes like the perfect selfies, the perfect pictures from the neck up. She has mastered the art of taking selfies to get the perfect angles because she's got a great face, probably a nice rack, and she can knock your socks off and you probably have no idea what's going on below the neckline. That was me. On top of that, I was down to wearing the same 2 pairs of pants to work because that's really all that would fit. I had a variety of shirts, but I was wearing the same pants every day. If I went out, I was sporting those jersey dresses because despite my weight gain, my legs were seemingly thick fit, so they still look pretty good. And the extra material in the jersey dress in the midsection was able to hide my belly. I feared being tagged on any sort of like social media videos, and this is back in the time before they had all the fancy content control tools that we have now, where you can be like, oh, let me approve that before you post it, or don't post it, or hide it, or whatever you do to keep your secret secret. I kept my body a secret the best that I could do. As far as me taking my own pictures and selfies, I probably deleted about 90-95% of every picture that I took just in an attempt to get that perfect angle that would help me deny the rest of my life, or really the rest of my body. I was throwing money around to gain friends and disguise my body flaws. I was doing everything to just draw attention away from my body and to every other aspect of my life. Sadly, I also never really looked at myself in the mirror. I would look in the mirror to brush my teeth, wash my face, do my makeup, but I was never really looking at me. I was never looking at myself, never looking into my eyes. I was looking past me and beyond me. Just looking enough to get the job done and consistently walking around, sucking my belly and just living in total denial about the reality of my body. And that is no way for a 24-year-old to live. Not when you're so full of life. Hell, that's not a way for anyone to live, especially when you don't have to. So, foot breaks sucks, yeah? But my choices about how I lived my life, what I ate, what I did to my body, what I didn't do, I didn't take advantage of the things that I could still do. Maybe I didn't know that I could do them, but I didn't try. I didn't reach out for help. I just sat back depressed and unhappy and accepted what I thought my life had to be, not realizing that it could still be anything that I wanted it to be. And so that's how I ended up fat, overweight, 260 pounds, 5'8.5", busting out my jeans, muffin top over my jeans, closet full of clothes that I couldn't fit. Until one day I made a choice. Said, I'm not buying any more fat clothes. Hell, I'm not buying any more clothes at all. This isn't what I want for me. I want better. I want to look better. I want to do better. I want to feel better. And I made that choice. And I had a lot of ups and downs between then and now, between that decision and finally getting to a point where it wasn't a diet, it wasn't a challenge, it wasn't just getting ready for a special event. It was a lifestyle change where I said, I'm going to live my life differently. I'm going to do different. I'm going to be different. I'm going to be better, to create a better body and be the best me that I can be. And so, yeah, wasn't always overweight. I gained the weight, but I lost the weight. And you can lose the weight too. Just make the choice. It's that simple. The choice is simple. Won't lie, the work is hard, but the choice is simple. But it's probably the most rewarding thing that I've ever done in my life, and one of the things that I'm most proud of. So tell me your story. Where are you at in life? Where do you want to be? You can get there. Let me know.